Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into something really fascinating and honestly quite complex about India. Its languages. Just imagine this incredible linguistic wonderland,
Yeah.
a vibrant mosaic of different tongues, each with its own story, its own music. But, well, underneath all that diversity, there's this persistent question, isn't there? Here we are, June 2025, and it's still very much alive. Which language should or even can unite such a diverse nation? And this isn't some quiet academic debate. It's often called a perennial debate. And yeah, it really can feel as heated as a summer day in Delhi. So, our mission today is to unpack this whole language tussle. We're talking Hindi, English, yes, but also these incredibly powerful regional languages Tamil, Bengali, Telugu, you name it. We want to give you a real shortcut to understanding this, maybe uncover some surprising facts as aha moments without making your head spin.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's so important to get that this isn't just, about vocabulary or grammar.
Yeah.
It's fundamentally tied to identity, to power dynamics, to culture itself. To really understand the passion behind it today, you've got to look back at the history.
That sounds like the perfect starting point. Okay, let's rewind then. Historical echoes. The colonial era, the British, they left a huge mark with English, didn't they? Administration, education, law, English became dominant. How did that set things up for what came later?
Oh, a massive imprint. English became the language of, well, power, of getting ahead. So when India became independent, there was this immediate challenge. The people who framed the 1950 Constitution had this huge task: how to unify everyone. Their approach was, okay, Hindi is the official language.
Hmm?
But English would stick around as an associate language for initially just 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah, the idea was Hindi would gradually take over.
Yeah.
But, well, as we know, that 15 years stretched on, indefinitely, really.
Right. So English stayed, but there was still this big push for Hindi. What did the government actually do to promote it, especially officially?
They did quite a lot. There was a significant push. For example, in the 1970s, they set up the Department of Official Language. And a really key law was the Official Language Act of 1963. The goal was clearly to make Hindi the main language of government. They even started this huge project, almost like a linguistic engineering task, creating new Hindi words for government stuff.
Like what kind of words?
Well, think about terms like nyalaya for court or urjamantri for energy ministry. It was a massive effort to, make the language of administration feel more Indian.
Wow, that sounds like a monumental undertaking. But pushing one language, even Hindi, in a country like India, I imagine that didn't go down smoothly everywhere.
You're absolutely right. Smooth is not the word. While the aim was unity, it sparked fierce resistance, really fierce, particularly from states like Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, places where linguistic identity is incredibly strong, incredibly deep.
Why so strong there?
For people in those regions, it felt like their unique culture, their heritage, was being pushed aside, even threatened. It wasn't just about words. This resistance actually led to the government introducing the three-language formula back in 1968.
Ah, the three-language formula. I've heard of that.
Right. On paper, it sounded like a smart compromise. You teach Hindi, English, and a regional language in schools, foster integration.
But the implementation, that was tricky.
It varied wildly. I was putting it mildly. Some states embraced it, others not so much.
And Tamil Nadu, their opposition was particularly strong, wasn't it? It became a real political fight.
It really did. Tamil Nadu saw Hindi imposition as, well, almost an existential threat. It became a huge political battleground. It's like trying to force a community to give up its core traditions. It shows just how personal, how deeply felt language is in India. It's a symbol of identity, of autonomy.
That history really explains a lot about the present day because fast forward to 2025 and we still see this cultural chasm, right? You have, on one hand, English-speaking elites, maybe seeing English as the golden ticket. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, that perception is definitely there, and it's powerful.
Mm.
English is often seen as the path to success, to good jobs, to upward mobility. And this can create, maybe unintentionally, a kind of linguistic caste system.
As so?
Well, English medium schools are often perceived as better, but they cost more. So access isn't equal. It means your language skills can directly impact your social standing, your opportunities. For many people aiming for certain careers, English fluency feels, well, non-negotiable.
And that must clash quite dramatically with the other side, the purists, those championing Hindi or their own regional languages as the real keepers of culture. It sounds like that tug of war you mentioned, like a family drama playing out on a national scale.
Exactly. It's not just theoretical. You feel this tension. For the purists, their mother tongue, or perhaps Hindi, holds the authentic soul of India, its traditions, its wisdom. They often feel that these incredibly rich regional languages with centuries of literature just get sidelined in the national conversation.
Ignored almost.
Sometimes, yes, like bringing amazing home cooking to a fast food party. There's this constant struggle for recognition, for respect. It's a major cultural fault line.
It's such a tough dynamic, language tied up with class, identity. But okay, amidst the friction, are there examples of bridging this gap? You mentioned beacons of bridge building,
Mm.
people like Arun Kolatkar and Dilip Chitre, the poets. How did they navigate this?
They were really remarkable, visionary, you could say. Kolatkar and Chitre wrote beautifully, powerfully in both Marathi and English. They didn't see it as either. They embodied this blend, this synthesis. Their work just showed that languages can coexist. They can enrich each other. They live that multicultural, multilingual reality of India.
So they basically asked, why choose? Why not have both?
It sounds like they understood something fundamental about India.
Precisely. They were ahead of the curve, really. They saw that in India, being multilingual isn't just a neat skill to have, it's often a necessity. It's how you navigate daily life, different communities. Their writing is proof that language doesn't have to be a wall. It can be a bridge. It shows the strength that comes from knowing multiple tongues.
That's a really hopeful perspective. Okay, let's shift gears slightly to the modern landscape. How does all this play out today in media entertainment?
Oh, it's fascinating, the media. You see this coexistence play out so clearly. Bollywood, right? Mostly Hindi, it's massive, globally recognized. But then you have these incredibly vibrant regional film industries running right alongside it. Kollywood for Tamil, Tollywood for Telugu, Sandalwood in Canada, Mollywood in Malayalam.
Each one a powerhouse.
Absolutely. They tell stories that connect deeply with millions in their own languages. It proves you don't need just one dominant source of entertainment. We have these whole linguistic universes. And it's not just films anymore, is it? Social media seems to be changing the game, too.
Totally. Platforms like YouTube, Instagram, X, they are massive amplifiers for regional languages now. You have creators making content videos, comedy discussions in Tamil, Bengali, Marathi, all sorts of languages. They're reaching huge audiences, people who might not connect with mainstream Hindi or English media in the same way.
So it's kind of democratizing things.
In a big way, it's giving a platform and a voice, building communities online around shared languages. It's really dynamic.
Let's try and ground this with some numbers. What do the statistics, like the census, tell us about who speaks what?
Okay, the 2011 census is the most detailed picture we have. And no surprise, Hindi is the most widely spoken. About 43.6% of the population reported Hindi as their mother tongue. That's over 528 million people. Huge number.
Wow, nearly half.
Yeah, it's dominant. But look at the others, they're significant too. Bengali is next at around 8.1%, then Telugu at 7.2%, Marathi 6.9%, Tamil 5.9%, Urdu 5.1%, Gujarati 4.5%.
So lots of major language groups.
Exactly. It shows why simply focusing on Hindi, or even Hindi in English, misses the bigger picture. And it underlines why preserving these regional languages is so vital. Each one carries a whole world of culture, history, identity. Losing one, it's like losing a species. It diminishes the whole ecosystem, our cultural biodiversity.
That's a really powerful analogy, and you see this diversity in action just in daily life, right? Especially in big cities. Mumbai, for example.
Oh, Mumbai is the classic example. You can stand on a street corner and hear a single conversation weave between Marathi, Hindi, English, maybe some Gujarati, all in a few sentences.
Like linguistic ping pong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just this fluid mix. People switch codes constantly just to communicate. And for so many people, their language, their mother tongue, it's not just how they talk. It is who they are. It connects them to their family, their community, their history. That's why people feel such pride, why they defend their languages so passionately. It's like rooting for your home team.
That deep connection, that pride, it inevitably leads us into the political dimensions, doesn't it? Language in India isn't just cultural, it's deeply political.
Oh, absolutely. It always has been. Think back to the anti-Hindi protests in Tamil Nadu, a massive political movement. Or even the way states were reorganized after independence, largely along linguistic lines, creating Andhra Pradesh for Telugu speakers, for instance. Language has been a powerful rallying cry.
And that continues today.
Definitely. In 2025, political parties still absolutely use language to connect with voters, to mobilize support. They position themselves as the protectors of a particular language or linguistic group. It taps into that deep sense of identity and sometimes anxiety.
So, looking forward, a glimpse into the future. We hear so much about technology, AI, translation tools. Could that change things? Could tech finally bridge these gaps?
It's a really interesting possibility. Imagine having real-time translation devices,
Hmm.
maybe earbuds, that let people communicate seamlessly across languages. AI could certainly help break down some practical communication barriers, make all this diversity maybe a bit easier to navigate day to day.
So tech might help with understanding each other literally.
Hmm.
But the identity part, the cultural weight of language, that probably doesn't just disappear, does it?
No, I don't think so. Technology can facilitate communication, but it doesn't erase cultural identity.
Hmm.
So the core idea has to be, well, coexistence.
Coexistence.
Yeah, think about it. India manages multiple time zones, incredible climate variations, endless varieties of food, festivals, religions. Why should language be the one thing that has to be uniform? The goal should be to embrace this linguistic mosaic, right? To actually celebrate the ability so many Indians have to speak, think, and dream in multiple tongues. It's an incredible asset.
Maybe we'll end up with some kind of organic blend eventually.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe the future isn't one official language, but this fluid mix. English, Tamblish, Banglish, whatever, emerges naturally. A linguistic cocktail that truly reflects the country. That could be far more interesting, couldn't it?
It definitely could. So, wrapping this up, what we've seen in this deep dive is that India's language story is, well, it's complicated, it's ongoing, deeply historical, shaped by culture, by politics, and now by technology, too. The key takeaway for you listening, I think, is understanding these layers, celebrating the diversity like those poets Kolatkar and Chitre did, finding unity in the multiplicity. If we can do that, maybe we move towards a future where every voice, every language gets heard, not just the loudest ones. Because really, in a country with so many ways to worship, to eat, to celebrate, why should language be any different? It's something to think about your own connection to language, maybe exploring another one or just appreciating the richness around you.
Absolutely. That diversity, it's not just a feature, it's India's strength, its beauty, its resilience. It's the heart of it, really.
Well said. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating deep dive. We look forward to exploring another topic with you next time.